I got to tell you guys, in 2023, man, the white liberal is not hiding how they actually feel. They have come full circle, man, in exposing, their true racism. These people, man, truly do believe that they are supreme to other people just because they are white. And they feel guilty about that. Now, to common sense thinking people, man, you have to think these people are out of their mind. They're out of their mind. Nobody is supreme to anybody based on their skin color. But to these woke white liberals, man, they truly do believe that their skin color makes them better than you. And they feel guilty about it. They feel guilty about it, guys. I'm stunned, man, because healthcare is not supposed to be woke. It's not. And these woke people, man, they really, really are racist and they don't even know it. They don't. Because we got to talk about this one healthcare executive. He is in charge of, you guessed it, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And this guy actually held an anti-racism prayer. You guys want to see how anti-racism actually works? It just means that you're racist. Anybody that believes in anti-racism is a racist. It's just that simple. And you got to be careful, guys, with your medical professionals, so-called medical professionals, because woke medicine, man, is a real thing. It is. I actually did a video months ago about these new medical students. I can't remember exactly where it was. I believe it was in Minnesota. They actually took the Hippocratic Oath, except it was a woke version of it. They're talking about indigenous medicine and all this other stuff, which doesn't make any sense. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and dive into this because this guy here is dumb. Look at this here. Hospital exec says white race should be made to feel uncomfortable about its whiteness. Dangerous. And this person who is saying this is white. Guys, and I'm talking to you black people watching this video. If you ever run into a white person and they say this stuff, run away. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them whatsoever. Let's read this, guys. A Maine hospital executive involved in diversity, equity, and inclusion hosted an anti-racist prayer service. I want to know what God he was actually praying to, because this is definitely not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Clearly not. This is not the Christian God of the Bible, because the Christian God is not going to go for this stuff. Because guess what? If you believe in God and you die on Judgment Day, God can actually care less about your race. He doesn't care about that. But anyway, it says here, he hosted an anti-racist prayer service that had a group of white people apologize. Yeah, really. For their internalized racism as white people, according to a video reviewed by Fox News Digital. Yeah. Just because you're white, you're racist. I said it before, guys. Regardless of skin color, anybody can hold racist beliefs. Racism doesn't apply just to white people. But this guy right here believes by default, if you're white, you're racist. And he feels guilty about that because this guy actually believes he is superior to me, a black man. Ryan Polly is a vice president of DEI and Maine Health, a hospital system of over 20,000 employees. He has said the hospitals cater to overwhelmingly white patients, which is reflected on local demographics. Yeah. We're talking about Maine. I believe Maine is like one of the whitest states there is. Black people just don't live up there. They don't. That's why you have a bunch of white patients right there. A lot of black people actually live in the South. When you're talking about New England, there's just not a whole lot of black people up there. Anyway, Polly refers to himself as a, quote, minister of a group called One Spirit. According to a video reviewed by Fox News Digital, which has since been scrubbed, I was wondering why I couldn't actually find it. Polly is shown teaching attendees how to be practitioners of anti-racism through a prayer that he dedicated to, quote, loving spirits who are known by many names. The DEI leader's ideology is steeped in critical race theory, in other words, racism. He said during the prayer services that he himself maintains, quote, racist narratives and biases, and attributed those to his skin color. So you believe that you have racist narratives and biases just because of your skin color. What kind of racist narratives do you actually have? I can guarantee you it's not because of your skin color. I can guarantee you that. And this is this guy right here. Quote, only then can we become equipped to challenge the systems that have been designed to give us the advantage and oppress everyone else, he said about becoming an anti-racist practitioner. Quote, as the head of diversity, equity, and inclusion at a major health system, I think frequently about my role as a white person first and as a diversity leader second. I think about the responsibility I have to continue the deep internal work of understanding my own racist narrative and biases, Polly said. I think about the privilege my whiteness affords me and the choices whiteness allows me to have. My whiteness keeps me and my family safe. Well, I got an idea. Why don't you give up your job and give it to a black person? Do that. You know, since you don't like, you actually say you have white privilege and you don't like it, quit your job, give it to a black person. You know, it's kind of like Ben and Jerry's talking about 4th of July, this land is on like stolen land. Let's commit to giving it back. And then a Indian elder called him out and say, hey, your offices are actually on our land. We want it back now. Ben and Jerry's went silent. I'm willing to bet, guys, Ryan Polly would not give up his job. Why? Because he likes his job. I mean, this man is head of diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's not a real job. And I'm pretty sure this guy is actually getting paid quite a bit of money. And he's up there in Maine. Not a lot of non-white people up there. So I'm willing to bet that, and I believe he's in charge of like 20,000 people. I believe that's how many. Is that what it said? I think it said something about him being in charge of 20,000 people. It was somewhere. I saw that. This man will not give up his job. I'm challenging Ryan Polly to give up his job. Maine Health defended Polly, stating, quote, our best commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion stems from our organizational values, mission, and vision. This work strengthens our connection with patients and ultimately helps us to deliver higher quality care, consistent with our value of respect and our role as an institution of learning. We welcome and encourage divergent viewpoints and dialogue among our patients and care team. I'm really curious, guys, how many black people are actually in Maine? I mean, I'm just curious about that. Let me just look it up here on my phone real quick here. Maine demographics right here. Yeah. Check this out, guys. When I said it was white, It is definitely white. Maine in 2023, 93% white. That's why you have so many white patients. Black people only represent 1.44%. Asian people, 1.1%. Two or more races, 3.46%. I mean, it's just a white state. That's just the way it is. It says here, however, Polly's views on DEI contain outright stereotyping of people on the basis of being white, claiming that they are conditioned to be racist and oppressive simply because they're white, really. It says here, for example, Polly said that white people acquire ignorance, biases, and racist thoughts on the basis of their belonging to a life of whiteness. This is straight up critical race theory stuff. Quote, this evening has been designed with white people in mind, not to take the stage. We have plenty of places to take the stage, he said, starting off the prayer. We need to begin the work to join the fight. We need to ensure we do the work to challenge our ignorance, our biases, and the racist thoughts that we've acquired through the life of whiteness. In a portion of the prayer focused on dismantling the system, Polly encouraged the white people attending to feel uncomfortable with the messages. Quote, let us develop the courage to dive into deeply experienced discomfort. Let's sit with it, knowing that the answers come not from our own conscious thinking, because that thinking is shaped by racist constructs. The answers lie deeper, he said. Let us lead with the tenacity to become anti-racist and continue to fight, even on the days when we could simply choose not to. Amen. I really still want to know, what God is he actually praying to? What God is he praying to? I really, really do want to know that, man. He says some other stuff here too. Let's see here. Says the hospital executive has referred to himself as slightly unhinged in song lyrics posted to his YouTube channel, which has since been deleted after a comment request was sent. Polly's anti-racist prayer service was also made private after the query to Maine Health. Why? Quote, it certainly explains a lot about why Polly has relentlessly pushed a DEI agenda at Maine Health for the past 2.5 years. 2.5 years ago, that was George Floyd. Throwing it out there. A source at Maine Health told Fox News. The insider called for Maine Health to immediately remove Polly and to get back to the business of taking care of patients. Yeah. Quote, left unchecked, this dangerous messaging will lead to even more diversion and distrust, the source said. After the prayer, Polly said that white people were somehow connected to people such as police who have shot and killed black people. Boy. Oh my goodness. Did I just see this? I did. This is what he said. Quote, I am white. You share something with Darren Wilson, who shot Michael Brown, and George Zimmerman, who shot Trayvon Martin. We share the experience of living in the culture that tells us that our lives have more value just because we're white, said Polly. Well, Officer Darren Wilson did nothing wrong. Michael Brown was a criminal, just robbed a store, and he tried to go after Officer Wilson's gun. Officer Wilson was actually defending himself. Now, George Zimmerman, I do believe he's an idiot, but I think that George Zimmerman is a brown man, right? Yeah, just throwing it out there. I mean, my goodness, man. This guy, this is the problem, man, with diversity, equity, and inclusion right here. This man has a fake job. This has nothing to do with taking care of the patients. He is just spewing nonsense out there. Nonsense. This is how woke medicine gets into the system, guys. Woke medicine. I mean, this is ridiculous. Like, for one thing, man, I've always seen where they talk about high blood pressure. And they say you got a greater chance if you're black. I never believed that a day in my life. I'm black. I don't have high blood pressure. I don't. Some people just have naturally high blood pressure. I know. But it has a lot to do with your diet. A lot to do with it. I mean, woke medicine, man, it needs to end. It does. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.